Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama. Welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering another DC animated movie, All-Star Superman.
When Superman is poisoned by solar radiation while saving a crew of the first manned mission to the sun,
Why would you do that?
His body slowly starts to expire, so he spends the rest of his remaining days of this movie with Lois and accomplishes all he can before the end, which is not the type of Superman movie we expected to see.
Yeah, before we get into that, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Yeah, this was a very strange Superman. But first, let's talk about the even more unique cast of voice actors. James Denton is Superman. Christina Hendricks is Lois Lane.
Ed Asner is Perry White.
Anthony LaPaglia is Lex Luthor.
Never would imagine him voicing him. So used to Clancy Brown or some other people.
Same with Superman, James Denton.
They had Steve Blum as Atlas. Linda Cardellini.
Yes.
You might know from regular show as Natasha Lathia. I hope I was pronouncing that right.
And they had Ova Babatunde as Judge Bibliobot, the voice of Bibliobot.
Okay.
And John DiMaggio.
Yeah. And they have Matthew Gray Gubler as Jimmy Olsen. I'm like, what?
So this was pretty much... Oh, and Steve Blum, let's not forget.
Oh, okay.
Is Atlas.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. This was a cast that was unconventional in terms of the regular voices that voice these DC characters.
Yeah, you're so used to the regular cast you hear in the DCAU, and we know that eventually they end up changing out the characters, or they want to have different people do the voices because they need some star power during some of these movies. But for here, it was just a little more jarring because there were a lot of people you didn't even know that did voice acting or even did this movie in general, because you do not hear about this movie really.
Besides Steve Blum and John DiMaggio.
Right.
But yes, they are stars. You know, as you mentioned, they during the time this movie came out, they were definitely star power. Christina Hendricks and Anthony LaPaglia, of course, Ed Asner are still pretty big stars. So
it's ironic. It's called All-Star Superman.
And another thing that was a little jarring is the animation and the way the faces and the eyes were set on the characters.
Yeah, we know every movie outside of the DCAU with Bruce Timm, all of them look different. Each movie, they have a different design, different actors, different story. It's always like you're seeing someone else's comic come to life, which is okay. But for this one in particular, the animation didn't really meld well with Superman. It seemed like they were trying to go for a classic comic book look, but when you see it, it looks like the chin's a little too large, almost reminds you of the Crimson Chin. It looks like a style that really isn't even used that much anymore.
But the eyes for me were the things that were the creepiest. They just didn't look right. They kind of looked like aliens. And the way that the eyes moved also was not natural or fluid in the way animations normally done for DC. So that also was a little off-putting, because you'd have a scene and suddenly you have the alien eye action going and it just threw you off, and all you'd focus on is the way the characters were drawn instead of what was being said or the action that is supposed to be getting your attention.
Right. Now for the action and stuff, it's a little lower key. Now, only because here, with the story, we explain that he's expiring, so he's sort of doing almost like a bucket list thing. He's not
meat.
Right? It's like, why is he expiring? It's like,
Superman is expiring.
I'm like, what?
He's past his expiration date.
Okay. Right? And in here, it's almost like he's doing this thing of like, sort of like a bucket list thing, but what they have in here is that it's supposed to be doing the things he wanted to do and being with Lois, and of course telling her that he's Clark Kent and the Superman's Clark Kent is Superman, etc.
And the most unbelievable part of this movie that you said that is that she didn't believe him. She did not believe that he was Clark Kent. Like, right. Oh, that's funny. That is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, we were kind of looking like, what do you mean you don't believe him? Like, literally all the evidence is right there. What's there not to believe? and then, as it goes on, you're kind of thinking this is the things he wanted to do and spending time with them. You find out more about him before his time comes. But no, it seems like after maybe the first, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, the whole movie constantly shifts focus. There's like 10 different plots, one after the other going. Perhaps this was a mini-series and they put all of the episodes / issues into one movie, and that's why it felt like individual things, but none of them really connected. The only thing that connected was that some people knew that he wasn't going to make it, so they're going to take advantage.
Like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, and that was really it. All of them seemed like all individual things happening. There were their own stories, and they all were in one movie. It didn't feel like this was all one big story. It felt like it was inconsistent.
Another thing is they had, as you mentioned, some different characters, and Luthor. Now, the thing about didn't make any sense is Luthor was in prison. And at any time, he could have gotten out of prison. But he said he chose not to get out because he just wanted to let people know that he could if he wanted to, but he didn't. What? Right,
and then it had to do with Superman, that he would die before him, and it was like, this is a complicated, it was a complicated plan he had. Then you had his niece in there, which didn't even know he had, and she was sort of the henchwoman, sort of. It was very confusing.
And then you had these two other people from Krypton who were just evil, the opposite of him,
right?
And wanted to take over the Earth and wanted to kill him, and then things went wrong for them, and he didn't kill them, and then he put them somewhere where they could be awakened later or brought out later, so they could be healed from the disease they had.
Because they're on Earth's atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah. Then there was this plot where, as Clark Kent, you want to interview Lex Luthor. For some reason, Lex Luthor actually liked Clark Kent, even though, he had to pretend he was a bumbling klutz. But there was this one part in here that they kind of missed the opportunity to do. Perhaps it's not what went on in the comic, but this is something they should have done for the movie. When they walked through the prison, they had Parasite. He broke in and started sucking all the energy out of all the people.
Right.
Now, here's the thing I thought of. We know that's one of Superman's biggest enemies because he's like a constant battery to him where you can just recharge and just keep sucking all the energy out of him every day. Here's the thing what's wrong with here. If he can do that, Superman's got the solar radiation. Why couldn't they have Parasite suck all the extra radiation out of him to keep him from dying, and then stop him, like get him off of him or punch him or something, so that way he'll get the normal recharge from the sun, and then he's back to normal.
But that's what we were expecting.
Yeah, but no, he's
up. Guest appearance.
Yeah, yeah, and then they defeated him. Unconventionally, and then that was it. They never really bring up that he can do that, nor is there ever a time where there's like, hey, maybe he can be the cure, and that'd be the irony thing. But no, it never happened.
It just never materialized.
Because when it gets towards the end, it's sort of like it's like a letdown.
Exact words I was thinking of. This movie was a letdown. And usually we're very excited to see DC animated movies. Usually they do a fantastic job. They did have an all-star cast, but this movie was less than stellar.
Yeah. Oh, and we can't forget, it was also this point where Lois Lane got some powers for like a day.
Yes, he made her a serum so that she could experience life with him. And then somehow Lex Luthor, he decided to give Lex Luthor the serum in generosity, and Lex Luthor decides to take advantage of the generosity, but then somehow the serum also had a failsafe in case Lex Luthor decided to try to take over the world.
Huh? It was, like I said, there's too many things. I can't tell if this was a bunch of stories put together, or these were all ideas they had for the movie, and they just threw them all in there. So which one should he do? All of them. And then none of them link up. It's too many things. One after the other. There's like probably every 5 to 10 minutes, there's a new story, there's a new plot point, there's a new character, new everything.
Right. Now here's the new story idea. If if you've seen this movie, let us know what you think of it in the comments below.
Yeah, and if you happen to like this movie, you can maybe let us know, you know, maybe it's something we missed.
I'm sure we did.
Okay. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get updates on future podcasts and World of Paws videos.
Yes.
So, thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting, flashing lights. Trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. With her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket.